Peace. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, making today's math.
Knowledge God, all being born to build and destroy.
That's right. When you know you have the power of God, it enables you to build and destroy all things in your existence. Welcome back to Yanadameen Godcast and Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
We got Fact Checker Rage in the house. Team Yanadameen up in this bitch. What's goody?
Y'all supposed to be rowdy, man. What's good?
Team Yanadameen, what's poppin'?
They're like,
Thought we was in Brooklyn. It sounded like we in Kansas somewhere.
sucks.
I'm here. Present. Come on, y'all. The fuck? You way down from them tacos. See, if you would have the queso, y'all niggas would be asleep right now. I know what I'm doing. Digga. I know what I'm doing. Listen, if you'd like to donate to the show, go to cash.me/Yanadameen, patreon.com/Yanadameen, bounty.com/Yanadameen, or yanadameen.com/support. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Freddie Sharkey, thank you.
my girl, hey Freddie.
Yeah. So before we went to break, a lot of people on YouTube Live were talking about the ADOS movement. ADOS movement, American Descendants of Slavery. They said it's not slaves, Lord Jamar, it's slavery. Okay. Descendants of Slavery. You happy? I have a vague I have vague knowledge of this. Could y'all please bring me up to speed? From what I understand, it has to do with reparations for the American descendants of slaves. Now, I don't know what the exact definition for American is, because we live in the Americas. Is this the North America? Like, I need some clarification on that, and I guess some of our people at YouTube Live will, will help us out here. But
Well, I've seen.
Yes, speak on it.
I've seen different things on social media. I myself am not, extremely knowledgeable of it. I know what it stands for. I've seen it used in different contexts, largely in part related to reparations. But one thing that I am seeing it being combined with a lot is also the Tangibles 2020 hashtag. And that is something specific to these constituents that we have running for the 2020 Democrat seat, and whatever party they're running for, Democrat, Independent, whatever you're running for, we're trying to hold one of these constituents accountable for dealing with issues and things specifically for black people. Like, what are your tangibles? What are you going to do specifically for black people? Not black / persons of color / minority / immigrant / Native American / LGBTQ. We want to know, what are you going to do specifically for black people? So that is a big tangible 2020 conversation.
Now I'm liking that.
Specific to us. And I guess when you see the ADOS
and on the list of tangibles, I would assume that that's where this ADOS comes in, because I'm thinking that certain people would hope that the tangibles,
the ADOS,
that the part of the tangibles would be reparations for the ADOS movement. Yes?
Yes.
Is that what I'm to believe? Now,
not just that, but definitely number one on the list.
right.
I definitely like the subject when you ready, Jay. I like that.
Yes, before you add on, I just would like to say now there's some that feel that this movement is quite divisive and just another way to divide black people. You know, some are saying that
I can see
this
that.
is all about singling out who here in America, even though we're all kind of suffering the same trauma right now. But anyway, who here in America are direct descendants of the slavery, and I'm assuming that they meant that happened here on this land in America, and they're probably not even thinking about South America or anything like that. But let's just say they're isolating it to just here in just America. Well, now immediately they've isolated the South Americans. They've isolated our Caribbean brothers. They've isolated a lot of people that could have came on the same boat, but just got dropped off at different places. That's something that has to be kind of looked at in this whole.
I think why people feel so strongly about it being specific to the African Americans are because the West Indian community, you know, the West Indian immigrant population, the Caribbean, even African, if you will, they are privy to some things that we are not. There are, I do believe there are things for immigrants that we as, like, you know, born and raised Black Americans are not privy to. Now, what those are, I can't call it out. I can't call it out.
I think you're thinking of like shit for certain immigrants. I don't think that Jamaicans and a lot of West Indians apply for a lot of like the grants that you'll find like people from India might get to come open a store, or people from Asia.
I don't think that's true. I live in a neighborhood where every single, and I mean every single store is owned by the Haitian demographic. Down to the real estate company that's approving the mortgages for them, down to the passport agents. Like, they're, you know, where I am in Newark, I am surrounded by Haitian owned businesses.
Are you scared?
Am I scared? Oh no! Check out my mortgage, Jay! Me and Pierre.
I am surrounded. like.
But I'm saying that to say, and I'm sure, you know, as they were opening one business after the other, they probably like, look at these fools over here outside selling crack. We opening the businesses behind them. Like, it's weird. I do think it is divisive, but I think they look at. I kind of feel like there's a certain prejudice that already exists. I see a lot, even with these with these conversations that I'm seeing in regards to ADOS, I'm seeing a lot of bickering between like African-born Black people and American-born Black people. I'm already seeing it.
Right.
And you know, and
that's something I'm seeing here too, in some of the comments that's going on.
I'm seeing a lot of it online, but I also feel like even before this came to be, I always felt like just in my day-to-day, there was always some sense of, you know, separation or distance between us anyway. Like, we always, like, I feel like it's an unspoken thing amongst Black people, like, oh, Africans think they better than us. Like, I feel like this is kind of like a little...
They think they more Black or something.
Yeah, like I feel like this is a conversation that, you know, that's already been happening on the low within the Black community. And I don't know if this is going to really open up that can of worms, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Rage.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Your perspective.
Anybody that came through the diaspora and existed in this paradigm is damaged goods. So we can get into that tribal distinction and contradictions and all that. My only thing is I'm concerned about mistakenly putting the cart before the horse in terms of scientifically evaluating reparations. The closest time we got to reparations was at the World Conference Against Racism in 2001, where it was finally declared that the transatlantic slave trade was a crime against humanity, because they was playing with that classification for a long time. Now that that's been classified, that was supposed to lead into reparations that the world owes people who suffered from transatlantic slavery. The people that put that motion together to get that win was called NCOBRA. It stands for the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. And I had the pleasure of working with some of those people. So I just feel like we can't, let the enemy divide us into all these sub-arguments. Like, let's stick to what works with the book. Let's get one thing done first. Then we can hash out all the other contributions. So my thing is, the slave trade was legally declared a crime against humanity. What's next?
And what's a realistic reparation?
Right, I was going to say, what does reparations look like?
What is a realistic reparation? Like, do we really expect this government or whoever the president, I'm going to say that gets position, not that we elect, are we really thinking that the next president is possibly going to be able to go get to the White House and say, okay, here's a blank check, y'all divide it amongst yourselves? Like, how does that work?
Rage, as a thermometer, can you please research while we're talking, what did the Jewish people who were Holocaust survivors, the descendants of the Holocaust or whatever, when they got their reparations, what did they get? Like, on average, what did each family get? Now, while he's looking that up, let's just say, it was a monetary thing, and each person, each family that can prove that, first of all, that's going to be hard too to prove.
Yeah, actually, that's the plot. I can speak on that.
Because the records and all of that are so convoluted and all of that. And you have people like the Mormons that have hogged a lot of the records, and a lot of the slave records are actually out in Utah right now, which a lot of people don't know about. But we spoke about that when Natalie Green was here, talking about the lineage. So that being said, let's just say we all get $2 million, all black people that can prove it, that, they have lineage here in these North America, and they were slaves here, and they get $2 million. What the fuck do you think these motherfuckers are gonna do with that money?
Can I speak on that, Jay?
That's just, please, go ahead.
Okay. Again, the NCOBRA organization, found it necessary to break reparations down to three parts. First, the admission of guilt. Number two, reparations for the crime. And number three, prevention. So I hold a position that that's impossible, because America, as well as the other European powers, is an imperial power. Imperialism's job is to expand and to conquer and to subjugate. So you can't repair something that you still damaging. It's a misnomer. The argument is, in my opinion, is ridiculous, But I have the Wikipedia information for the Jewish thing, the Jewish situation, which is very dangerous territory, because that's a whole other show. But it didn't go at a family level. In 1952, Germany was tasked with resettling Israel into another land. That brings you into the Palestinian-Israeli struggle, which is a whole other discussion.
See, it's crazy because black people wouldn't even want to be resettled anywhere.
Right.
We're not well, some of us who's really down for some shit would say, yeah, give us our own land.
Okay.
But most black people would not want no resettlement. They just want to be here. Give me some money so I can live here and spend,
Let's look at Tupac Shakur.
get one of them high rises that we just saw being built downtown Brooklyn.
Tupac Shakur, stepfather Matul Shakur, was in an organization called RNA, Republic of New Africa. And they had put a bill together to separate certain southern states to make that sovereign territory for black people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my point is like, this is a constant discussion. Every 20, 30 years, it just gets shut down with different things. But there's already a template in place that keeps on being pushed aside. See what I'm saying? And so now they're pushing it to the side again with these arguments. As a people, if we're serious about obtaining anything close to liberation, we gotta be more mature in how we approach the topic. Or we're gonna be arguing until we
one of the things that I think would be a great tangible would be free college education. And I understand people, the white man's college, what you gonna do in college? I think that's something that can be realistically implemented, and it wouldn't seem like such a okay, we gotta spend this money right now, because because soon as you start talking about, give us some land, give us some money, give us, it's going to be a fight for the ages. So
can I get into any college under this?
I say give us.
You say free college, but they got community colleges now. They got shit.
Whether it's
near free.
I mean, of course, you still would need to qualify. Like, no, I don't think Kodak Black should be accepted in Yale. No, but I think that.
Well, I'm saying if your grades. If your grades, I go to Harvard if my grades
make the mark, and you can from a scholastic standpoint, if you make the mark, but
then you should be able to go to any college you want for free.
But finances is what's keeping you from attending. Finances is the reason that you have to go to the community college.
No, fuck any reasons.
Versus being
even
able
if I
to
got
go.
a lot of money under this fucking reparation shit, I should be able to go to college for free.
What I'm saying is, like, you still have to make the mark scholastically.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, college. That's.
But whether I'm poor or rich, I should be able to go to any college. This is what you're saying.
This is what I think. Yes.
Okay.
This is something.
But they're not going to go for that. They're not going to go for that because first of all, they try to act like, colleges have sliding scales in value. One college is worth more than the other. And if I gave away a free college at Harvard, that's not, equal to this college giving away their free shit because my shit costs this much, when people pay for it type of shit. You understand?
Part of our
and who's to
reparations.
say...
Either give us free college or give us the building that y'all just built, the Avalon duplex.
Well,
that
what if they held you to
$3,000
the piece of paper and gave you motherfucking 40 acres in a mule? What the fuck you gonna do? You want that? You ready to take that, black people? You want 40 acres in a mule? I'm just curious.
I'll take it.
Because I would take it. But do you know how many fucking black people?
I got 2 acres in a pit bull. I'll take it. I'll shoot my shot.
I mean, what I'm saying is there's shit that, just like we said, a territory, like, that would now entail black people, like, actually doing for self. And working for self. Yeah, agriculture,
black
industry.
Let's go. Let's get
finance, all of that type of shit.
Get it.
And this is shit that we act like we want it, but there's not a lot of people that's really ready to do the work. You see what I'm saying? Like they're not ready to take that step to really say, all right, like my man in here trying to go off the grid and all that type of shit.
So when are we gonna get ready? We're just not gonna be ready for it. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna blame white people for systemically
Well, I'm
oppressing
saying,
us
we-
for generations.
Yes.
We not even gonna try it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to. I'm not saying.
I mean, I know,
Right.
but you just made the point that do you feel like we ready? Like we can handle that?
The majority of us, no.
The majority of
No,
us.
the majority
There
of
are
us, no.
select few.
There's a small, you know what I mean?
There's some of us that have been fortunate enough to travel the world and live
There's a nice
certain way.
5% of us that are,
And everybody else
that are down for that type of, you know what I mean, commitment. That a true,
because it is a commitment.
a true nation commitment.
Nipsey Hussle was doing.
He was doing it within this
100%.
within this fucking system. Yes, he was. He was doing it. You know? Oh, and somebody shouted you out in the comments too for that. He was doing better.
Right.
He was like, yo, we got to do better. Yeah, Nipsey was doing better. And
Right. But then people want to act like there are just hating ass motherfuckers that don't exist. Like it's not always. It's not always.
It's not zero sum.
It's not always everybody else's fault. Like yes, sorry.
no. I mean, everything starts with you.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you can't ignore certain things that are designed and influence people to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I
And
wouldn't-
funnel people down certain roads and shit like that.
I wouldn't
that
want.
doesn't do that to other people.
I wouldn't want people to ignore that, but now that we know that, I mean, it ain't even now we know because we've been aware of that. What are we going to do about it?
What are we gonna do
Like,
about it?
when
What
does-
are we gonna do about it? Remember that song,
When does
Nate?
the chain break? Like KRS, how many decades ago KRS said?
Research that. Who sang that song?
chain.
What are we gonna do about it?
Like, it's-
what are we gonna do about it?
It's crazy to me how
that's
like
some 80s shit right
sometimes,
there, I think.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 80s. Definitely 80s. But that's a good question. What are we gonna do about it?
Exactly.
What are we
like,
gonna do about it?
You can't
what
always,
are we gonna do about
can't
it?
always get mad every time every time somebody highlights the obvious. Sometimes, like yes, it's everybody else's fault. We are how we are, but sometimes we just
Somebody
fucked
said,
up.
y'all need to understand the
Just
foundation.
like you can't go to Waffle House and pay everybody's bill without a motherfucker getting mad. Why didn't they pay mine? Like
They're
there's
saying
always
there's an
one.
HR 40 proposal, and it's a plan to study what reparations is.
You know what reparations is? Zimbabwe, what Mugabe did with the land for. Hey, contracts up at the farm. Y'all don't want to leave, so we're going to give y'all some encouragement. You got 20 miles to go. That's what reparations is. You know what I mean?
Do you remember that episode Dave Chappelle did with
Oh, yeah.
what would happen if everybody?
He said, I
got
just bought me a
reparations?"
kid or some shit. But see, it's funny, but it's not funny.
It's not funny
Because I could honestly see,
all these,
like,
all
if it
these
was
little
a
mumble
financial
rappers
thing-
running around. All the mumble rappers
like,
were
first
running
of all,
out.
you know how many diamond chokers these little motherfuckers around the streets would be running around with? Like, the shit would be fucking crazy. Like, and all the guns and, oh man, and Mercedes and blinged out, it would just be,
That's like a movie
fuck.
synopsis, man.
They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time
it'll go
coming.
right back. back.
Half of these motherfuckers giving that shit
Within 6
right
months,
back
within 6
to the
months.
within 6 hours sometimes he said, in the motherfucking black community. Listen, we're gonna take a
Give
break.
me my 40 acres and a mule, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my mule to the old town road. We're gonna ride.
You know what I mean? Godcast, we'll be back.
Brooklyn's historic The Black Lady Theater is now taking bookings. Host your next birthday party, concert, networking event, baby or bridal shower, wedding, art show, gala, corporate event, live stage play, audition, and so much more. At the one and only The Black Lady Theater. Mention code GODCAST for 15% off your rental fee. Code good for the first time customers only. Valid for a limited time. Call 718-771-0900 to book your event today.